So if I give you, an example in the shorthand that we talked about, if you want to talk about a company, a nurturing company, like one would be a crown corporation, for example, that does something. Say a transit system.
Yes.
Transit system actually is still transactional, right? When you get on a bus, you pay something to get on that bus. However, the transaction cost does not cover the true cost of that service.
Right.
The reason it doesn't cover the true cost is because as a society, we
want
have agreed that
to have
this is something that we want to subsidize.
Yes.
The market will not fulfill this service on its own.
Yes.
We are going to come, and mobility is too important of an outcome in terms of nurturing to let aside.
So if I just follow that up again, the American healthcare system, which is entirely in the provider side, no wonder 40 million Americans are excluded from
winners
it.
and losers.
There are winners and losers.
As soon as you're in market system, you're going to have winners and losers. And if you say that we can't have losers in this one, it's too important, but we still have a service, then it potentially could be a crown corporation, which still needs to be efficient. You can't be, you want to run this as efficiently as possible, but your first level of culture says, you know what, we're nurturers. Basically, at a highest level, we've decided we can't go in the marketplace, so we need to create a safe. We're in that safe spectrum. But then you're going to go down a level. Okay, I'm looking in that nurturer circle, and relative to that, I'm about providing a service.
Yes. So you're going to have a lot of people who are into that particular kind of thing in your organization.
So the values, again, what I'm layering on top of this, if you think of this as gates, how I'm going to process this in my relationships. The first gate I'm going through is a safe gate.
Yes.
I've established I'm safe. So transit system, it can't look like it's too high risk. It has to look like, it's in for the good of the public. It's not in for the good of themselves.
Yes.
They're not there to make profit.
Yeah.
But they're there to be. But after I've established that, then I got to go. Okay, I see the public good in this. I see that I want that to be safe. I'm not trusting that to the market.
Right.
That's basically what you're saying. It's safe.
Yes.
My transit will be there tomorrow, even if the economy goes down.
Yes.
Then you got to be efficient. Then it's about providing, and all those efficient modes relative to that.
That's
you don't want a transit system that goes, doesn't show up in time.
Yeah.
You're spending, $5 instead of $2. How do I make that relative to that? Efficient?
It's interesting you said in London over the last 10 or 15 years, since Ken Livingstone brought a whole bunch of Americans in to look at London transport. London transport was almost entirely a nurturing environment, no innovation, and you couldn't rely on it for anything. And I think what the people that Livingstone brought in have done a tremendous job in adding those two other areas to it. And as a result, London, the public transit system in London is much really better. Seriously better.
Yeah. Well, that's because you've decided your role is not to be a nurturer.
Right.
It's to be a nurturer provider.
Yes.
And then you can actually go one more deeper because relative to
they brought
that,
innovation in, you see, as well.
Yeah.
Even things like ticketing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
usually
which you're going to feed off of, right, from the innovative within the nurturing components. Say there's ways to do this better because we got to provide more efficiently. So we need an innovation to do that.
I never thought I think London transport would be a great example of it.
But
yes.
You go one more level down from that to really get this to stick, and you go, okay, we got it. Transit is really about providing a service.
Yes.
For the social good.
Yes.
So we're safe win-win.
Yes.
In the shorthand with this would be, we got to establish safety, but then we're all about being as efficient to that as possible without compromising the social good.